Is this the greatest compilation album of all time? 100% hits, the best of 96. Now, we've asked a lot of questions during this series, but there's one question I think we're all thinking right now, especially in the crazy world that we have. What if God was one of us? Yes, track 2 on disc 2 is One of Us by Joan Osborne. Originally released on November 13th, 1995 in the United States, this is a fascinating song overall, especially the history of how it got made. Joan Osborne was originally from Anchorage, Kentucky, but upon moving to New York City in the late 1980s, immersed herself in the burgeoning New York live music scene, which was now being revitalized. She built her own label in 1991 called Womanly Hips and began recording albums, but eventually signed to Mercury Records in 1994 and began recording an album called Relish, where she was working with an up-and-coming producer and singer-songwriter, Eric Bazillion. Yes, that is his real name, Bazillion with a B. It is spelled like this, though. Not like if it was like a fake money thing. Bazillion was in a band in the 1980s called The Hooters. I swear to God, this is all true. But after some initial success in The Hooters, Bazillion became a songwriter and arranger and wrote One of Us in a single night trying to impress a girl named Sarah on a flight, which weirdly worked because he ended up marrying Sarah and having 2 kids with her. Bazillion invited Sarah to Philadelphia, where Bazillion was arranging Osborne's album Relish with producer Rick Chertoff. After recording a demo and playing it for Rick then asked Joan if she thought she could sing it, and the rest is music history. The song was, of course, insanely popular and really ignited pop culture at the time. Osborne's album and herself were nominated for 5 Grammys, with One of Us being nominated for a 6th Grammy, with Bazillion being credited for Song of the Year. However, most of the nominations weirdly lost to Seal's Kiss from a Rose from Batman Forever, which is a song I could talk about forever, frankly. Although Joan did get to perform at the Grammys, which is pretty nice. I think its cultural influence does extend beyond it being a Grammy-nominated one-hit wonder. Specifically, when Dr. Evil sings it in the film The Spy Who Shagged Me. Just a slob like one of us. Blue, blue, blue. Which I love. I love that. That's a really good joke. I digress. One of Us is a fascinating song that falls into the same vein as our last song, riding the wave of female singer-songwriters. Yes, even if it was written by a dude, it is a soulful, brilliant, and odd little song. But it does beg the question, if God was one of us, would he ask